Hi Aries! I'm going to rank the signs you are traditionally most compatible with, and I'm going to give you a super easy trick to use. Two of the most fundamental secrets behind how astrologers actually make compatibility determinations, so that you can do this for yourself. After this video, you'll have some actionable tools to start figuring out how compatible you are with every person you meet. First, we'll go through the signs that are most compatible with you, and then I'll explain a bit about how it can still work out even with the signs that didn't make the top of the list. So to begin, one of the easiest shorthand tricks astrologers use to determine compatibility is by considering the elements associated with the signs in question. The doctrine of classical elements, fire, earth, air, and water, was first established by the Greek philosopher Empedocles circa 450 BC. Each of the four elements was assigned 3 zodiac signs, and Aries is team fire. Fire signs are most compatible with air signs and with other fire signs. Astrologers also use classical geometric principles to determine which signs have the most harmonious relationships. These principles were established by the Greek-Egyptian mathematician and astrologer Ptolemy during the 2nd century CE. Signs which are 180 degrees apart, opposite to each other in the zodiacal wheel, often have a special affinity for each other. It's the classic notion that opposites attract. Your opposite is the air sign Libra. These opposite signs develop a synergistic balance between them, and they tend to make a great pair. There's a very fated energy with these two. They often form deep and life-changing attachments. Even if they don't stay together, their relationship is still formative and deeply significant in some way. These are the people who have a very strong impact on you for better or worse. Because you're diametrically opposed, you have different but complementary traits, meaning each person has what the other person lacks. The key to making this pairing work is to appreciate the other person because they're different from you. It can sometimes be tempting to feel like they're an opponent when they don't do everything your way. But if you're open to learning from their perspective and allowing for some give and take, this can be one of the most rewarding matchups in the zodiac. With this pair, there can even be a sense of finding the missing puzzle piece or completing each other. The ancient Greeks who developed these astrological compatibility systems believed in the possibility of soulmates. In Plato's 4th century BC Symposium, he writes about how the gods originally created humans with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. Zeus, the king of the gods, fearing his new creation would be too powerful and pose a potential threat to his rule, decided to weaken us. He threw down thunderbolts to split us all in half, so that humans physically appear as we do today with only 1 head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. The thing is, our original form only had 1 soul, meaning that once we were split, each person contained only half of their soul. Hence why we spend every lifetime here on Earth searching for our other half. We suffer the pain of separation and feel the strong desire to merge once again with our soulmate. The good news is that astrology can help you find that person, and it is often one of your core 6 most compatible signs. The signs which are 60 degrees apart from your sign in the zodiacal wheel are typically also an excellent match. These are Gemini and Aquarius. With these signs, you understand each other very well and have a good chance of working through any challenges that come up. You will likely feel that a relationship with one of these signs is particularly easygoing, cooperative, and supportive. Aries and Gemini make a great team. Gemini's adaptable attitude and tireless curiosity is one of the few that can truly keep up with Aries' fast-paced life and your energy for exploring new things. In my astrological practice, I especially find Aries and Aquarius to be an excellent match, the 2 mavericks of the zodiac who truly support each other's independent spirits. The Aquarius' strong sense of ethics combines really well with Aries' heroic side. These two are truly the ultimate iconic duo. Together, they can do a lot of good for themselves and for the world. One way or another, every air sign has something lovely to offer you. Think about what happens when we combine the fire element with the air element in the natural world. If we want a fire to burn brighter, we fan the flames to give it more oxygen. Air feeds fire and supports its expansion, making one of these 3 signs an optimal choice if you're looking for love. Comment what signs you typically get along with best, Aries. I'm interested to hear about your own experience. And please subscribe. I would be so happy to have you with me. So now we'll talk about your fellow fire signs. Fire with fire is considered to be a good match because, of course, it's the same. And therefore, there are no elemental contradictions which may dim your light, as can sometimes be the case with the earth or water elements. The two other fire signs are Leo and Sagittarius. With these signs 120 degrees apart from yours in the zodiacal wheel, you will usually get along like a house on fire. You can have a lot of fun with one of these two signs. Leo brings you excitement and passion. It's never boring with a Leo. However, I do find that these two can step on each other's toes at times. Aries and Leo are both very powerful energies, so my advice is to keep things lighthearted and give each other space when necessary. Otherwise, there can sometimes be a "this town's not big enough for the both of us" kind of confrontational situation that arises. Sagittarius provides Aries with an upbeat energy and endless adventures. You both have a strong drive to explore, push boundaries, and learn about the world. Sagittarius can often impart some wisdom or some higher-minded ideals to help channel Aries' energy into its highest and most evolved form. I'm not necessarily going in the exact order of which signs I think are most compatible with you. There's some debate among professional astrologers as to whether the signs that are 120 degrees apart from yours, or the signs that are 60 degrees apart, or 180 degrees are better matches. In my astrological practice, I actually see all of the above being true in different contexts. If you want to know the exact order of how I would rank your compatibility prospects, this is my list of the signs I typically see being most harmonious with yours in real life experience, in descending order, with number 1 being the most compatible. But it's kind of splitting hairs. There are good chances for a very positive relationship with any one of your top 6 most compatible signs. So next we have Aries with another Aries. When you have two people with the same sign, there's generally a good sense of understanding. You get where each other is coming from and what makes each other tick. And that can be very positive for long-term relationships because there's a built-in intuitive sense of shared experience. No two Aries are exactly the same, but you will share enough similar characteristics that you should be on the same general wavelength. The downside with two of the same sign is that it can be like too much of a good thing. There's sometimes not enough differing energies to create a healthy balance. I would advise this pair to put some energy into the areas of life you tend to neglect or things that aren't your strong suits, so that you aren't missing anything important. For example, I'm an Aries, I love Aries, but we tend to be most focused on things that excite us. We get easily bored by mundane details regarding things we don't have a passion for. Two Aries together might both love spending all their time on their passion projects and neglect to do their taxes on time because it's super boring. Try to consider any parts of life which your energies aren't naturally suited for and come up with solutions for how to deal with those necessities. Maybe you two need to pay someone with strong earth sign energy to be your accountant and do your taxes for you. Speaking of earth signs, now we'll get into the part of the video where we talk about the other two elements in the zodiac, earth and water. These are not traditionally as compatible with fire signs like Aries, with the exception of the water sign Cancer and the earth sign Capricorn. These signs are 90 degrees apart from you in the zodiacal wheel. In terms of astrological geometry, this is a challenging but still reasonably viable alignment for compatibility. While there can be some tension in these pairs, they also offer a galvanizing or catalytic effect. Cancers are some of the sweetest sweethearts in the zodiac, and they provide Aries with a lot of gentle emotional support, which can help propel you towards achieving your goals. However, Aries may be a bit too harsh with Cancer at times, and you may become frustrated by their sensitivity. My advice is to be gentle with your Cancer. They are precious, soft creatures. You need to protect them, sometimes from yourself. Capricorn pushes and challenges Aries to be the best you can be, encouraging you to develop discipline and giving structure and direction to your fiery energy. Capricorn can be pretty demanding of Aries, and you may feel like rebelling against their authoritative nature at times. But you can also learn a lot from them, so if you're willing to put in the effort they ask of you, this can wind up being a serious power couple dynamic. The rest of the water and earth signs have no significant classical geometric or elemental alignment with your sign, meaning that your energies have no fundamental association, and therefore these are the signs you will tend to struggle at developing a harmonious connection with the most. The earth signs Taurus and Virgo, and the water signs Scorpio and Pisces. Both of these elements, water and earth, are things that we would commonly use to put out a fire. If you have a campfire, you might throw water on it or dirt on it to tamp it down. So water signs in general can give you a dampening or depressive sensation, while earth signs can leave you with a feeling of rigidity or heaviness. Does that mean a relationship with one of these four is doomed? No, it just means that you will have extra hurdles to overcome with these signs in comparison to more compatible signs. Probably the most important thing to note in this entire video is that these sign comparisons are just the tip of the iceberg. They are barely scratching the surface of what a true comprehensive compatibility reading with a professional astrologer looks like. For example, a full compatibility consultation with me takes about an hour, and this is what I'm looking at. The one sign we typically identify as in colloquial terms, like our sun sign or our rising sign, is just a fraction of what astrologers are considering in compatibility readings. We're taking all these other relevant details into account as well. To truly judge compatibility and offer the best tools to build a successful relationship, we need to consider how every point in your unique birth chart aligns with everything in the other person's chart. That said, for obvious reasons, it would be impossible to cover the entirety of such a complex topic in a short video like this. We have to start somewhere simple. So the information here is a good place to begin understanding your interactions with other people. I just want to make it clear that single sign comparisons like this are not the full story. You might meet a Taurus who you get along with great because everything else in your charts lines up beautifully. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, share it with your friends and loved ones, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much to everyone who is already subscribed. It means a lot to me to have you on board.